What's up, guys? So have you ever written a bunch of JavaScript just to realize later that you could have done the same thing with CSS? Well, in today's video I'm going to show you 5 things that are way easier in CSS than JavaScript, and these are things that take multiple lines of JavaScript, but with CSS you just have to write them in a few lines. So let's get started. The first one we're going to be talking about is the toggle menu. So right now I have just the JavaScript implementation. So if I go to my browser now, if I click on this menu, you can see that it's opening, and I toggle again, it closes. So this is just the HTML, and I'm just using the classes. And if I go to the script file, you can see that I'm querying the class that's right here, and just adding the toggle method and basically opening and closing the state using this CSS class right here. So we can easily achieve the same thing with just JavaScript. So I'll get rid of this code right here, and for the index just HTML, what we have to do is we have to append an input tag to this, and this should be type of checkbox. Give this an ID, and we say this should be menu toggle. Let's also add a class of menu toggle. Then we'll add a label underneath, and this label will be for the menu toggle because we have the ID here, and we'll just copy this right here and paste it here. Then we'll get rid of the button and save. Then for the CSS, we just have to get rid of this class and set this to toggle checked, and we use the tilde sign and look for this menu class right here. So once we check this right here, we should show this menu. So if I save and go back now, you can see that we're still achieving the same result. And we can also add this checkbox by just saying input, the type should be checkbox, and this should be display of none. I guess this should be in a string. Yeah, so I see that this is working fine with just a few couple of lines. So the next one is text truncation, and I've split my screen into two parts so you can see the changes through time. So you can see that we have this p tag right here with this text, and you can see we're only getting the first 20 characters, and this is done on JavaScript by default, and you can control the length. If I say 10, it's going to get the first 10 characters including the spacing. So the best way to do is with CSS is to get rid of this, so we can get the complete one, and we can just go to our CSS file and just get the text class and just say the white space should be no wrap, so we don't want any wrap. Then overflow should be hidden. The text overflow should be an ellipsis, so we should have the 3 dots. And now we want to specify how long should the text be, so we can just start with 200 pixels, so you can see. Then you can now play with these numbers and see what matches what you like. So let's just stick to 200 pixels. So you can see how we easily achieve the same thing without using JavaScript. So you can see just this p tag with this class of text, and we're just doing all the style in the CSS. Alright, the next on our list is dark mode toggle. So currently with JavaScript implementation, we can toggle between light mode and dark mode. However, we can still achieve the same thing using CSS, and I think it's also a better way because what we're about to do just figures out the default mode that the browser uses instead of us to just start toggling between light mode and dark mode. So we can just go to our JavaScript and we get rid of everything, and we can get rid of this as well. Then we just use this as media, and we say prefers color scheme. I'll set it to dark. Then we'll just cut this body and paste it right here. So right now my device is on dark mode by default. That's why it's showing white. So if I change this to pink right now, you will see that it's coming in place. So I'm in my settings and I'm using dark mode by default. So let me just go back and show you again. If I change my settings to light mode, now you can see that this is now changed to light mode. All right, so the next one is sticky element. And as you can see, if I try scrolling down, just watch how this will quickly fade out and quickly fade in. So you saw that. Let me try and increase this so that it will be more obvious. So it's 500 now. So watch. You can see that after some time, it gets sticked. So if we try that again, you can see after some time, it gets stick to the top once we are above 500 pixels. So this is fine with JavaScript, but we can still achieve the same thing with CSS. So in order to do that, we just simply need to again get rid of everything here. And for this CSS, we just need to we leave the background, we set the position to sticky instead of absolute, and we'll leave this top at 0. Then we don't need this width of 100%. So you can see now that anytime we stick, it always gets to the top, and we don't have that weird fade out. All right, the last one for today is smooth scrolling, and some of you might be familiar with this one because it's quite common, but there are still some people that are trying to achieve the smooth scrolling effect using JavaScript or even React. Most times I've seen some code bases that have such kind of code, and you can easily achieve that with just one line of CSS. So I have this right here with the JavaScript implementation. If I click on the go to section right now, you can see we get directed to this welcome to the section. So if you take a look at the code right here, it's basically just using this scroll into view method right here and passing this property and this value of smooth. But we don't need all this, so I can just get rid of everything here, and you can go to our CSS and use a wildcard or the HTML tag, or I'll just use the wildcard and say scroll behavior should be smooth. So now if I click on this, you can see that we're still achieving the same thing with just one line of CSS and with zero JavaScript. Alright guys, so we've come to the end of the video, and let me know in the comments which trick surprised you the most, and if you found this helpful, do well to like and share the video. Till next time.